Captain Marcus Webb had seen many strange things during his 5 years of solo freight runs through the outer territories, but nothing quite prepared him for the creature bleeding out in the snow of Viridian 7. The distress beacon had pulled him from his planned route, a faint pulse originating from the supposedly uninhabited moon. Marcus landed his small cargo vessel in a clearing surrounded by crystalline trees, their branches humming with the planet's natural radiation. The beacon led him 1/2 kilometer through knee-deep snow until he found it. The creature was massive, easily 3 meters tall, even while collapsed on its side. Its fur shifted colors with each labored breath, cycling from deep purple to pale silver. 6 legs sprawled at awkward angles, and a gash across its flank leaked luminescent blue blood that steamed in the frigid air. 3 eyes, arranged in a triangle on its broad head, focused weakly on Marcus as he approached. "Easy there," Marcus said softly, though he had no idea if the thing could understand him. "I'm not going to hurt you." The creature made a sound somewhere between a purr and a growl. Marcus could see intelligence in those eyes, awareness that went beyond simple animal instinct. He checked his scanner, but it offered no match in any known database. Whatever this thing was, humanity hadn't cataloged it yet. The wound was deep, cauterized at the edges by what looked like weapons fire. Someone had shot this creature and left it to die. Marcus felt anger rise in his chest. He'd grown up on Earth's reclaimed wilderness preserves, where his mother had taught him that all life deserved respect and care. "All right, big guy. Let's see what we can do." Marcus retrieved his emergency medical kit from the ship. The supplies were designed for humans, but the basic principles of trauma care were universal enough. He cleaned the wound as best he could, applied synthetic tissue patches, and injected a broad-spectrum antibiotic cocktail that hopefully wouldn't poison the creature. The beast remained still throughout, watching him with those 3 unblinking eyes. When Marcus finished, it made that purring sound again, louder this time. "You're too big for me to carry," Marcus said, sitting back in the snow. "Think you can walk if I help?" The creature tried to rise, its legs trembling with effort. Marcus positioned himself under one side, taking as much weight as he could manage. Together, they stumbled through the snow toward his ship. It took nearly an hour to cover the distance that had taken Marcus 10 minutes alone. He converted the cargo bay into a makeshift shelter, filling it with thermal blankets and setting up a heater. The creature collapsed onto the pile with a grateful rumble, its fur finally settling on a warm amber color. "I'll check the beacon, see if I can figure out where you came from," Marcus said. The beacon itself was sophisticated, far beyond standard civilian tech. Military grade, possibly even higher. Marcus's stomach tightened as he examined the crystalline device. This was the kind of equipment only nobility or high-ranking government officials could access. Before he could process that revelation, his ship's proximity alarms blared. 3 vessels were dropping out of hyperspace, their signatures marking them as Imperial cruisers. Marcus had barely enough time to step out of the cargo bay before his communication system crackled to life. "Unidentified vessel. This is the Imperial frigate Dominance. You are in restricted space. Prepare to be boarded." Marcus's hands moved automatically through the compliance protocols, opening his airlock and backing away. A squad of armored soldiers filed in, weapons raised, followed by someone who made Marcus's breath catch. She was tall, even for a Kelvorian, her blue-gray skin marked with the intricate tattoos of high nobility. She wore a flowing coat made of something that resembled liquid metal, and her forearms moved with predatory grace. 2 guards flanked her, but she needed no protection. Everything about her radiated power and danger. "I am Baroness Thale of the 7th House," she said, her voice carrying harmonics that made Marcus's teeth ache. "You have something that belongs to me." "The creature," Marcus said, understanding flooding through him. It's yours. He is my companion. His name is Valor." The Baroness moved past Marcus without waiting for permission, heading straight for the cargo bay. Marcus and the soldiers followed. Valor's reaction was immediate. The creature surged to its feet, all signs of injury forgotten, and bounded toward the Baroness with a joyful cry. She caught him, her forearms wrapping around his massive frame, and for a moment the terrifying noble looked almost vulnerable. "Who did this to you?" she whispered against Valor's fur. The creature made a series of clicks and growls that seemed to mean something to her. Her expression hardened into something that made the soldiers step back. She turned to Marcus, and he forced himself not to flinch. "You are Captain Marcus Webb, registered freight operator out of the Terran Colonial Authority. You have no military background, no medical training beyond basic certification, and your ship is 40 years old and barely spaceworthy." "That's accurate, ma'am," Marcus said. "You found Valor dying in the snow. You used your limited supplies to treat his wounds, sacrificed your cargo space to shelter him, and did not flee when Imperial vessels arrived." "Why?" Marcus met her eyes, refusing to look away. "Because he needed help, and I could provide it. That's reason enough." The Baroness studied him for a long moment. The cargo bay fell silent, except for Valor's contented purring. "My companion was stolen from my estate by political rivals," she said finally. "They shot him and left him on this moon to die, hoping to wound me through his loss. They did not account for a human freight captain with more compassion than sense." "I've been told I have that problem," Marcus said. Something that might have been a smile crossed the Baroness's face. "The Kelvorian Empire has had limited contact with humanity. Most of what we know comes from diplomatic channels and trade negotiations. But I have heard stories about your people. They call it the human factor, this tendency to help those in need, regardless of logic or self-interest. Some call it stupidity," Marcus said. "Some called the first humans who left their planet insane," the Baroness replied. "Yet here you are, scattered across the galaxy, making friends and enemies with equal enthusiasm." She gestured to one of her soldiers. "Pay Captain Webb the salvage fee for recovering valuable property. Triple the standard rate." "That's not necessary," Marcus started to say. "It is necessary. You expended resources and took risks. You will be compensated." The Baroness's tone left no room for argument. "However, there is another matter. The rivals who took Valor will not stop with one attempt. They seek to undermine my house and will strike again. I need someone outside the usual political channels, someone they will not anticipate." Marcus felt his stomach drop. "Ma'am, I'm just a freight captain. You are a human who saved my companion's life without thought of reward. That makes you unique in this sector." The Baroness placed one hand on Valor's head, her other 3 arms moving in what Marcus was starting to recognize as a gesture of sincerity. "I am not offering you employment. I am offering you alliance. Continue your freight runs, but occasionally carry special cargo for my house. In exchange, you will have the protection and resources of the 7th house." Marcus looked at Valor, who was watching him with those 3 intelligent eyes. The creature made a soft sound, almost like encouragement. "I'm not a spy or a soldier," Marcus said. "I have plenty of both. What I need is someone genuine, someone my enemies will underestimate until it is too late." The Baroness tilted her head. "You showed Valor kindness when he was helpless. That is a rare quality in the Imperial court. Perhaps it is exactly what the galaxy needs more of." Marcus thought about his quiet life of freight runs and empty cargo bays. He thought about the look in Valor's eyes when the creature had been dying in the snow. He thought about his mother teaching him that sometimes doing the right thing meant taking risks. "All right," he said. "I'm in." The Baroness's smile was genuine this time. "Then welcome, Captain Webb, to a much larger universe than you anticipated. She turned to her soldiers. Transfer the agreed payment and provide the captain with secure communication protocols. He is now under the protection of the seventh house. As the soldiers moved to comply, Valor padded over to Marcus and pressed his massive head against the captain's chest. Marcus ran his hand through the creature's color-shifting fur, feeling the rumble of contentment beneath. "You're welcome," Marcus said softly. "Try not to get shot again." Valor made a sound that might have been a laugh. The Baroness and her soldiers departed, leaving Marcus alone in his cargo bay with a transferred credit balance that would let him retire comfortably, and a communication device that connected him to one of the most powerful houses in the Kelvorian Empire. He sat down among the thermal blankets, looking at the bloodstains on his floor that glowed faintly blue in the dim light. "Mom," he said to the empty air, "I think I just made the galaxy a lot more complicated." But as his ship lifted off from Viridian 7, leaving the crystalline forest behind, Marcus found himself smiling. Sometimes the right choice was the complicated one, and he had never been good at taking the easy path anyway.